Thick cut marmalade. Right, the weather's been awful this week, and JC is just the dish you need to banish those winter blues. Haven't you, JC? Lovely onion soup you're going to do?
Oh, superb. I think it's one of my favorite recipes. Now, we're talking a classic, okay? Basically, what we're doing is using some onions. I've got some red onions.
Is there any reason you're using red onions just because it's a better colour, or what?
No, I think there's some kind of a smooth texture, and also a bit of sweetness.
Yeah.
Now, there's two options. I also sometimes use some Saint-André onion with the white skin, big onions.
Yes.
Those ones will give a little bit more sweetness to the dish. Now, if you use the normal conventional onions, what you can do is slice in half, keep in the milk, and that will take the bitterness off.
Is that right?
Apparently, yeah. I mean, I'm not too sure, but I've tried. It did make some result. Now, I've got some stock.
Yes.
Vegetable stock, some very dry white wine, sugar, number one, very important. Always a bit of sugar.
A little bit of sugar.
And then some normal herbs, thyme and bay leaves. Now, I don't usually use a lot of butter, or even butter, but for this dish, I think it's nice to bring that smooth
richness to it as well.
Therefore, I've got some butter in the pan.
Yeah.
I've just sliced my onions, and it's very important you just slice them in advance, just like few 5 minutes. Yeah. They're still nice, juicy, and I'm going to start not just cooking, melting the onions. This is prime number one.
Of course, you were talking about butter there. There's a sort of rule among soup makers, isn't there? You can use butter for hot soups, but if you're going to make a soup that you want to serve cold, you should use oil. Otherwise, you get those claggy fat bits that stick to the roof of your mouth.
That's right. Absolutely. Now, what's happening is the situation is we're unrolling the onions with the butter gently. We don't forget adding, which is very important, is the sugar. Okay?
Okay, no herbs at this stage?
No.
No.
You can put herbs if you want to, but the herbs, for the moment, the most concentration you have to get to is to get that nice, soft, and you should be ending up to something like this.
And that what? It's going to take 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
That's the point. You cannot rush it. You've got to take your time, because you see that lovely creamy texture.
It's beautifully melting.
And also the onion is giving all the juice, and it's absolutely superb. Now, we're talking about the fact that we're going to start adding the liquid.
Okay.
I've got some white wine. And the white wine is very important, because first it's going to be dry.
Yeah. And you're going to burn away the alcohol anyway, aren't you?
That's right. Yeah. And then again, very slowly, you reduce your liquid very slowly, because you want to get the bitterness from and the sharpness from the alcohol. And basically what's happening is, when this has been reduced, then you can add your stock.
Okay. Now go on.
Logically, I will put half stock to the wine, but then again you can differentiate that.
Lovely.
Okay.
And you're using a vegetable stock, obviously, so we're making a lovely vegetarian dish, but classically the dish would have been made with beef stock. And when we get the results, you'll notice that your soup's quite a lot lighter than quite a lot of the French ones you get, yeah?
That's right, and even chicken stock too.
Yeah.
Now, I'm putting some thyme and some bay leaf. Now, the idea is take your time, let it reduce slowly. And what's happening is, logically speaking, you should be coming to...
I'll come over there, you go over there.
Now, you should be coming to that consistency. Look at this, it's extraordinary. Now, you can imagine the crunch still in the onions. The onions has already so much juice, and you basically have the soup ready.
So it's going to have loads of flavour. It's quite a light-coloured soup, using vegetarian stock, which is great for vegetarians. And the best onion soup I had was in Les Halles, in the restaurant Les Halles. I can't remember exactly which restaurant it was, but what it came in, little sort of cocotte, and they'd put what you're about to do, the crouton on the top with the cheese, and they'd bake the whole thing in the oven. It was lovely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
this is the perfect way.
We'd like to find out from you your favourite soup. So give us a call or text us in with your favourite soups, because we would like to cook it one day. So back to yours. Okay. What are we going to do now? We're going to do the crouton.
Just ready. Now we're going to make the crouton. I'm using some
day-old bread or something.
Alicia, what you want is the texture. Now you can see the thickness of the crouton is quite important.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to be like soggy and mushy into the soup. Yeah. I'm going to use this. How do you call this?
This is a griddle pan.
That's why.
Or you could toast it if you wanted to.
I'm just using this to give some toasty flavors to the bread. And then, what happens is, obviously, the smell is great. Then what you do is making some garlic oil. And the best way of making garlic oil is very simple. Use some olive oil, some garlic, some Szechuan pepper, some sea salt, and some bay leaves.
And what do you do with the garlic? You split it, or?
You split it in half, like so. And then you put it in a pan.
Yeah.
Bring it to the bowl with the oil, the salt and the pepper for a good 15 minutes. Then leave it resting, infusing for half a day.
Yeah.
Okay? And then just help yourself.
And remember, when you're making homemade garlic oil, it will only keep for a few days because the garlic has some reaction on the oil. So if you want, buy the ones in the supermarket. They have the method to make it last longer.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, the bread. Look, the bread is
I
actually
can smell the bread. It's
what I meant
lovely.
is the toasty flavor. Now, what's happening is I'm going to put that garlic oil into the bread. No
Yeah.
more, just enough. Okay? And basically, the oil is going to start to absorb the cheese into the bread. Now, I'm using, of course, Gruyere. Or you can use Emmental, Beaufort. In fact, you can use whatever you want. But I think if you want to keep the traditions, the right
Yeah.
recipes.
I mean, I would say you could probably use cheddar.
Cheddar, if you want, yeah.
Yes.
Why not?
We got
Let's
yes.
stay British, as you said before. Now, this goes in oven.
Yeah.
Under the grill, and logically speaking, you should have something like this, which look absolutely.
Oop.
Now you can smell the cheese, the mix of the crouton.
Oh,
now,
look at
I'm gonna
those, they're
serve
lovely.
it. Now I'm a great believer that you can always make enough soup and serve it the next day,
Yes.
and it will still probably become even more tasty.
Look at that. And when I was, I'm making some onion soup, sometimes I learnt from a Frenchman, they put sometimes a little Madeira and a little sherry in there. It's really nice, it really enriches it. But
And
this
also
is
the
the white
sweetness,
wine.
too.
It's going to be interesting to see this much lighter one, which I'm really looking forward to.
I mean, there's nothing wrong adding alcohol into the soup. The most important thing, as I said before, as a measured tip, is to reduce the alcohol very, very, very slowly.
Would you ever
Now-
add cream to it?
Yes, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Now, look at this. The croutons are ready, just ready to be disposed on the top. And the smell is unbelievable. You imagine, for the winter, what a way of starting the year, basically, yes?
Absolutely.
That's it. Therefore, French onion soup with some croutons à la je ne sais quoi.
Fantastic. Perfect for these cold winter days.